little bit about what the story is about. Can you remember?
It's about a story about the man snoring and she tried to order the steps and then she went to, and then he stopped snoring and then she went to bed and she snored.
She snored herself, didn't she? So, you know all about the story, and what we're going to focus on today is we're going to have a look at some really interesting words, and when we've found the interesting words, we're going to write them up here so that we can maybe try them out when we want to, or use them in our writing if that's what we want to use them for. So let's have a read of a rumble and a grumble, and you can join in with the reading with me because I know you know this story too. I'll stop when I need to do some teaching. Annie and Angus McTavish were tired. It had been a busy day. Yawn, yawn. Just as Annie closed her eyes to go to sleep, there was a rumble and a grumble and a rattle and a roar. And Angus McTavish began to snore. And did he snore? Let's have a look at this word here. They've written it much darker than the other words. Who thinks they might be able to tell me what that word there is? Mason, I like the way you put your hand up.
Rumble.
Rumble. What does rumble mean? What does rumble mean?
A noise.
It is a noise. It's a noise that sounds... I wonder if we can think of something that it might sound like.
I know. Grumble.
Oh, hang on, we haven't moved to the next word yet. Think about rumble. What do you know that sounds a bit like rumble? Well, it sounds... Rumble is the sound.
I know.
What does rumble...
Your tummy feels...
Hands up.
Your tummy
Whose tummy does a rumble if you're hungry? That's a time when you need the word rumble. Thank you. When's another time that you need the word rumble?
when you get hurt.
When you get hurt, sometimes, maybe. I'm not sure that I would use it then. I might use it when the next word comes along. We might use the word grumble if you get hurt, because you might be feeling a bit grumbly with a person if they hurt you. When else would we use the word rumble?
When you're having a sleep in the afternoon. Like
Rumble.
sleep when you have something in the night that you're going to.
I'm not sure that that's when I would use the word rumble. I'm thinking about something to do with the weather. I might hear a rumble.
I know. Raining.
Pardon?
Raining.
When it's raining? What's a rumble sound?
Storm.
A storm.
Earthquake.
You would hear that in the ground. Think about the weather. We've talked about rain and storm. There's something that happens with the clouds and it's called...
Rumble. Crashing. Thunder.
Thunder. Who's heard the thunder rumble
I've
in the
seen
sky?
it. I've seen it.
So, who can tell me?
Team.
Hands down. I want you to think about, back to Mr. McTavish. Why would Mrs. Annie McTavish hear a rumble? Why would she use that word rumble?
Because he's snoring.
So what's the snoring doing?
He's snoring too loud.
He's snoring really loud and she thinks it's too loud, doesn't she?
And it's shaking the bed.
Oh, maybe that's the noise. Maybe it's the bed shaking that's making the rumble. Maybe the bed's rumbling as well as his nose.
I think he's sleeping.
Hands up if you've heard somebody snore before. Does it sound rumbly?
I've heard
Okay, so that's the first interesting word that I wanted to talk about, and the second one was grumble. When could we use the word grumble? Not just in the story, but you might use the word grumble. Mrs. Payton sometimes has to have a grumble. When would I have to have a grumble, Mason?
When you're grumpy.
When I'm grumpy. Why would I be grumpy? Why would I be grumbling?
When people don't listen to you.
When people don't listen, and sometimes I grumble when people don't listen to their teachers. Somebody mentioned their tummy before, and that was when I was thinking that would be a really good word. Who hears the word? Who would use the word grumble if they were hungry? Hands up if you would use that word. I sometimes have a grumbly tummy. Can you think of any other ways? Grumble's quite a cool word to use. And then we've got rattle. When do we use the word rattle? What would you rattle?
When I'm really mad.
Rattle. Would you rattle when you're really mad? What would you rattle? I'm hearing some voices, but I'm wanting to wait for hands up first.
Like if there was a baby, they would shake a shaker.
Absolutely, that's sometimes called a rattle. When would you use the word rattle?
When you're scared.
Sometimes when you're scared. What would rattle if you're scared? Would it be you that rattles, or would it be maybe the doors or the windows?
Doors. Teeth. And the windows. Windows. Teeth.
Doors and windows, hey?
And teeth.
Oh, thank you for bringing that one up. Someone called it out before, but this person used his hands with lovely manners. He said a rattlesnake. Who's heard of a rattlesnake? A rattlesnake makes a really rattly sound to frighten away the people that... Annie could not sleep. She got a book, How to Cure Snores. She read, "This is what I need." I'm wondering what that word cure means. It's another interesting word. What does cure mean? Can you say that word, everybody? Say cure. Say, can you say that word for me? Cure. Everyone again?
Cure.
What does cure mean? What do you think it might mean, Mason?
It's like saying cure
Cure. Cure means to fix something. So if you're going to cure something, that means you're going to fix it. Sometimes if you're sick, or if you've got a cold, or if you've got a cut, you need a cure, something to fix it. What would you use to cure a cut? Hands up. Thank you. That's the cure to a cut, is a plaster. What's a cure for a cold? Sometimes we get medicine. Who's had medicine when they've been sick before?
Only. Not mine.
Okay, hands down. Medicine is a cure for lots of different things, and you have different kinds of medicine to cure different kinds of things. So Mrs. McTavish is looking for a way to fix the snoring. She wants the snoring to stop. So she's looking for a cure. A pig on the nose, Annie said. Good, now I can sleep. And she went back to bed. But there was a rumble and a grumble and a rattle and a roar. And as Angus McTavish snored and snored, and did he snore? Poor Annie McTavish could not sleep. She looked in the book. Red socks and red cap, Annie said. Red socks and a red cap. Now I can sleep. But there was a rumble and a grumble and a rattle and a roar as Angus McTavish snored and snored. And did he snore? Did that cure work? No, it didn't fix it. Annie could not sleep. She looked in the book. Cure number 3, purple gloves and a polka dot tie. Hands up if you think that's going to fix it. Is it going to be the cure?
Yes.
Hands up if you think it will not cure the snoring. I think I agree.
I think it is.
Purple gloves and a polka dot tie, Annie said. Now I can sleep. But there was a rumble and a grumble and a rattle and a roar as Angus McTavish snored and snored. And did he snore?
Yes.
See, that's getting darker and darker.
No.
Did that cure work?
No. I thought it would.
Poor Annie. Let's find out if cure number 4 works.
Yes.
Annie could not sleep. She was worn out. She looked in the book. Who can read this with me? Cure number 4. Sunglasses and an orange scarf.
That's not gonna work.
Sunshades and an orange sash. Oh, I hope I can sleep, Annie said, and she did. I thought that said cried for a minute, and she did. Did that cure work?
Yes.
It seems to work. But there was a rumble and a grumble and a rattle and a roar as Annie McTavish began to snore. And did she snore? What's happened now?
He woke up. He woke up.
It's so loud that it's woken up
Yeah.
Angus McTavish.
It's